Hello everybody, this is Andy, and welcome to episode 22 of Omnifactory. Now, we've got a lot going on out here. Some things have changed. Also, I haven't started outside in a while. It's kind of nice out here. It's not raining, none of the bad stuff. Anyways, there are more empowers here. That's because I've moved our palace production, empowered palace production, over to here. So what I have is it's creating 5 at a time, and I have 5 empowers here, so it only shoves in what it can use, and we should never get backed up, but it's also 5 times as fast as the one that we had over here. Everything else is still set up over here because this was the bottleneck and still is, so I think we're okay. It's fairly quick. I think what's becoming the bottleneck fairly quickly is our infusion injectors, which are now chaotic tier. Wait, chaotic tier? No, they're wyvern tier. So yeah, I upgraded these and I set up a second one so we could run 2 recipes in parallel, and we're doing pretty well. I also have 20 more fusion injectors so we can set up a couple more recipes during this episode, but right now we don't need that. First things first, we need to create polytetrafluoroethylene. The sheets for these are used in higher tier machine holes, and we need to start making those. So let's go ahead and start with chloroform. First things first, we have a chemical reactor here making us chloroform. It also makes hydrochloric acid, but I'm kind of trashing that because I don't think we really need it. Once the buffers fill up, it's not really going to be a huge chlorine draw, though it does use 6 buckets per 1 bucket of chloroform. But whatever, we're starting to get a backlog. And the next step is going to be to make hydrofluoric acid. And let's actually pivot here slightly and make fluorine renewably. The way you could do this is by doing this biotite. Wait, no, not biotite. Where's the... Hold on. Nope, I was right. It is the biotite dust. We need black granite dust, which comes from crushing polished granite, or I guess any type of granite. And the way that we can make that is using a thermal expansion machine. And that machine is called the igneous extruder. It uses no lava, but you need a little bit in there, and 1 bucket of water to make 1 piece of granite, and it can be really fast. However, we have a problem. These guys are now too slow to keep up with our system, and I think the main culprit of that is I crafted up 4 more of these assembling machines, and it tore through our polyethylene for like circuits and other things that use it down there where I have my other assembling machines. So now we're kind of hurting, and it's filling the buffers before it's filling this guy to make sheets, which are used in machine holes. So let's go ahead and grab 3 more maybe EV chemical reactors and transfer this setup somewhere else. I can only make 1 machine right now because these machine holes actually also take polyethylene, so we need to get our polyethylene production started up with this one guy first before we are allowed to make more machines at all. Okay, so I need the sulfuric acid and I need ethanol. And ethanol is going to come in a little bit slow, but that's okay. It'll come in eventually. And what I need to do is import fluids, and it should begin reacting. Okay, it's a lot faster, but it's still not fast, which is... Oh no. You're not getting enough power? Oh, wait. Hold on. This is actually my worst nightmare. Hold on. Where is my conduit probe? We might be overdoing our energy system right now. Where is an energy conduit? It says we're average input over 5 seconds, 506,000, and average output is around 506,000 too, which means are we overdoing this line, or are we overdoing everything? Like, you're working. We might be overdoing the line. Hold on, what's something that's working for approximately forever? These guys are working for approximately forever. You're not even running. Yeah, we must be overdoing the line. Hold on. No, the main problem is the recipe is trying to run at EV, and this is an HV line. My mistake. Okay, let's find somewhere. I don't think I have any machine slots open left in here, except for these weird, like, 1 spots, but I don't really want to do that. Why do I have oxygen in it? Who cares? Whatever. Okay, I might have to throw this downstairs. I happen to have the perfect amount of space right here. This is my last EV line in the entire base that I haven't used up yet, and I'm wasting a spot right here, but who really cares? I have 3 places to put my chemical reactors, and this time we're going to backlog more than just a little bit of polyethylene. We're going to backlog a lot of polyethylene. So I need sulfuric acid and ethanol in an interface. Like I said, I'm going to do this alone. Actually, I think I know where all of our ethylene is going. It's going into styrene, isn't it? We have that set up over here, don't we? Somewhere over here. Is this it right here? Yeah. Wait, benzene, ethylene, styrene is right there. Where is styrene being created? Is it over here? No. Where's my styrene? I'm stupid. It's the first machine that I looked at. Okay, it's right here. So we have a ton of ethylene in here, and ethylene isn't really used for much else, so I'm assuming I kind of blew through a bunch of styrene butadiene when I was making the assembly machines, and we kind of annihilated our ethylene source. It's okay. We still need to upgrade this because we'll come into that problem again later if we try and do the same thing again. So where the heck is that line? It's over here. I was already on it. Okay, so we need to throw away the dilute, sulfuric acid, and keep the ethylene. But first things first, I'm going to take a little bit of ethylene up here and allow us to make some more machines. That's polyethylene. Darn it, where the heck is our polyethylene being produced? This is ethylene. This is polyethylene. I don't know where my ethylene's going, but, you know, we'll put a little bit in there and allow it to produce a bit of polyethylene, which I hope gets shoved right in here. At least a little bit of it did. Okay, now we can make a few more chemical reactors. And there we go. That is ethylene production upgraded. Oh, well, I guess I'm not extracting yet, so not quite upgraded, but just about upgraded as long as I do the thing that I'm supposed to do. And as soon as the ethylene goes in there, it gets immediately sucked away into something or another because we are not producing ethanol fast enough. Okay, I soft hammered these so they won't ever work again, and it looks like a lot of it got shoved into here, maybe? I'm not entirely sure. I pinned ethanol so we can make ethanol faster soon, but for now I think we're going to be okay. And with that done, I have our other machines crafting. Okay. Now we're producing granite with the igneous extruder, and next things next, I need one of these universal pulverizers, I believe, and I'll just auto export. It looks like it already auto exported, but I want to, okay, I need to pull in that way, push out that way. Okay, good. We're getting this black granite dust, and then we need to push this into an electrolyzer and then into another electrolyzer. And here's the completed system. We have the igneous extruder doing the thing that I said it would do. I'm filtering everywhere and anywhere, and everything is okay. We actually are getting some fluorine. It's being sent off to do whatever fluorine does, because apparently we have a severe lack of fluorine in the place right now. But it's okay. It's infinite and renewable. This is also our first infinite source of magnesium, which is kind of handy. We're going to need it later, I think. I'm not quite sure what, but we can blast it. I mean, I don't know. We get a full reclaiming rate from the titanium production because we don't lose any. I guess we could turn it into uranium-238. That's kind of nice, actually. Okay, this is good to have. To say this episode has started out a mess, it would be an understatement. For the last 30 minutes, I have been essentially voiding all of my chlorine backlog, and I just used up 20,000 salt, making more. That was because I forgot to put a filter in here for hydrochloric acid, and now it's starting to look more and more stupid that I'm not reclaiming it, isn't it? Whatever, it's okay. It'll fill up eventually, and I can just buy more salt, it's fine. Before we can move on, I had to come back to this system because fluorine was being produced way too slow. But now I think I've probably fixed the problem. I still don't know how my backlog of fluorine is doing because it's not doing it all apparently. But I had to change the water ender tank here for an aqueous accumulator, and that wasn't even fast enough to push into here to make granite fast. I actually had to resort to using fluid laser relays from Actually Editions. These things have infinite throughput, so if you output using them, it will literally never run out of water. So yeah, we have infinite granite now. If I ever want granite, I know where to come. Turns out I'm already producing hydrofluoric acid somewhere else. That's why we were having such a problem with the fluorine. So now, if this thing just goes ahead and pumps in just like I want it to, we should slowly begin creating tetrafluoroethylene. Once again, dilute hydrochloric acid, that's going in the trash, baby. And I think I'll just link it up to this conduit system. And with that, we're producing tetrafluoroethylene. It's in this tank, not in the machine. I am trashing the other stuff over there, and the tetrafluoroethylene comes here. So what we want to do with this is make polytetrafluoroethylene. That's as simple as a chemical reactor with a little bit of oxygen and an integrated circuit. So there we go. Let's do this. Oh man, that thing, it does its work fast. I'll say that at least. This stuff is essentially useless outside of in sheet form, so we're going to turn it all into sheet form and not really care about any of the other stuff. And there we have it. That is essentially polytetrafluoroethylene. That was a bigger process than I thought it would be, but at least it's done now, and we can move on to more fun things, like working with these LUV assembling machines. We can finally put our LUV line to use, as it's kind of lonely right now. I put these HSSG rounds on here because they're so slow. But let's go ahead and populate this with a couple of assembling machines. I looked at what I want to do right now, and it looks like we're only going to need 3 of these assembling machines at the moment. I don't know if I'll need this guy, but he exists, and if we ever want to make something faster, we can. So next step is I need to tax the heck out of my soldering alloy system once again. I have a bunch of antimony to back it up. However, it's just going to take some time to fill these guys up completely. Okay, next step is to make these first circuits right here. And that's going to require something special. It's going to require these guys, engraved crystal chips. We have a ton of these exquisite emeralds because they come from our tier 3 microverse projectors, but we need a blast furnace for this and a little bit of time. And here is that blast furnace. It runs pretty fast, and I don't think we're going to have any problem waiting for it. Also, I'm storage busing the output bus because you can both input and remove items from it, which is pretty cool. I need to probably partition that, and it looks like we're probably good to go. Next step is to precision laser engrave it. So we're going to need probably this tier. Oh no, we need a high tier. Let me make an IV one then. And here is our nice, good laser engraver. And it is probably going to work until the end of time, or at least until it fills this buffer, which is 4 stacks, and then another stack in here, and, you know, good stuff. But we have these guys now, which are useful to make the final tier 5 circuits as well as better tier 6s. That's all they're used for, which is perfectly fine because once we have the 3rd tier 6s, we can make better tier 7s in the assembly line, right? Yep, we can make the 2nd tier 7s, and then this can actually be used to make the 1st tier 8s. So we can go up to here if we start making some HSSE. Okay, here we go. This guy is going to make me the crystal circuits, the tier 5s, and this guy is going to make me the tier 6s. That's amazing. Alright, so what should be able to happen if I need to mess around with this for a second. Hold on. Notice any difference? Well, no, of course you don't. That's just because I changed the auto output to allow on all of them. So we should be good to go. I also need to do this, and I should be able to request the tier 5s now. And just like that, we can request 20 of the crystal circuits, and off they go. Hopefully, we'll be able to catch them in the assembling machine down here. Are you running? You are running. Oh, you're slow. But I'm going to auto-craft them, so we shouldn't have to worry about it. Let's also think about the tier 6s. Is it reasonable that I auto-craft these guys? Just go ahead and make me one right now. Let's see. Does it shove everything in here? Oh, there it goes, and it crafts faster than these do. Huh, interesting. Okay, that's probably because it's not a final tier. The final tiers are generally slower crafts and also fairly expensive. So I've changed our crafted auto, so it now should be able to make the tier 7 circuits. Also, I added a little section of panels down here just because I'm spending so much time down here. Might as well be able to not have to teleport up every single time I want to do something. So I can now order one of these, I think. Yep, should be good to go. And let's see if one of them turns on. I think he's about to do it. He's about to do it. Oh, there he goes. Okay, perfect. And it runs so fast because we're technically powering these as ZPM. It uses so much power, but it's so worth it. Okay, now we should have tier 7s. Perfect, 2nd tier 7s. And we can now make tier 8s, however, I don't know if that's the path that I want to do next. I think we can make the tier 6 microminers now, so let's do that. However, before we tackle that guy, I set up these 3 more blast furnaces to preserve our sanity in the future. They are doing HSS dust, which we're going to need 1 for the Omnium thing, and also for other stuff later. HSSE, which we just said we're going to need for the crystal processor mainframe right here, and Ultimate. Ultimate. It is used in a couple recipes, so I'm going to just craft up 1,000 of it, and if we don't need any more, we don't need any more. Actually, I believe we're scraping the bottom of the barrel when it comes to power, and I'm leaking diamonds right now. I've lost 30,000 diamonds since I started recording this episode. We're not going to do well, and it's not going to make it overnight if I decide to AFK. So let's go ahead and make these plasma turbines. If I get my this guy, oh, I went upstairs. Didn't mean to do that. If I get this guy running full time making oxygen plasma, the quest book says I can power 16 of these large plasma turbines, which would produce somewhere in the ballpark of, I don't know, 1.5, 2 million RF per tick. So that's pretty good. However, there is one hang-up before we can do that. We need to make hot Naquata alloy, which of course means another blast furnace. We have Naquata, this is just smelting, right? Yeah, we have Naquata, we have osmiridium, and we have argon. We just need to do the process, and it's actually pretty fast. Oh, it uses 30,000 RF per tick. Or 30,000 EU per tick. That's 120,000 RF per tick. Okay, so we're gonna have to set that up as double IV over here, I think, and hopefully everything will be okay. And here we are. This is the machine making Naquata alloy ingots, and I guess they're not getting cooled very quick. I think it's cooling other things first, but we have a little bit of Naquata alloy, and we can use this to make these UV machine holes. I just need to set in the recipes, and we should be able to set up large plasma turbines in the next couple minutes. With those 4 new blast furnaces, since they're all actually producing kind of quickly and a lot all at once, we overloaded our other vacuum freezer. So I moved all of the new hot ingots over to here, and they should cool just fine. I'm going to check on our other guy, not systematically, every once in a while, just to make sure he's not still dying over there. But, you know, this thing should keep us good for a while. And if he doesn't, we can just add another energy input hatch and bring him up to ZPM. Ah yes, I have found the perfect use for our extra assembling machine here. He is going to make me all of my osmium turbine blades. I actually need a lot of these, so he is doing the Lord's work here. Okay, so this guy, wait, hold on. This also, what am I doing? This needs a circuit on 10, so let's grab a circuit on 10, just like that. And we should be good to go. I think I can craft up everything that we need now. So, did I put the recipe in for these? No, I did not. So, I'm going to need 8 of these rotors because I'm only making 8 right now, and that should work just fine. I'm slowly crafting up these large plasma turbines because, wait, maybe that's stuck actually. Let me go check on it. It took me forever to find this little guy, our little lone extruder making large pipes, and he's not high enough tier to make the tungsten steel pipes. I'm so sorry, big guy, but I'm gonna have to take this recipe from you and give it to someone who's stronger. I'm fairly confident this is the guy who's stronger, and it should be pretty fast too. Okay, perfect. I do need to slap an interface on top of this, if it'll ever make it for me. There we go, and that should be pretty decent too. Just throw the recipe in there and never have to worry about it ever again. Perfect. And now I am fairly confident that we have everything we need to make our first 8 large plasma turbines, and they're going to go back here. These are the 1 multi-blocks that I am definitely going to share sides with. Ooh, actually, I need to look at the layout for these. So the way it looks is that these guys can only share sides when they're stacked vertically. So in that case, we'll leave this area open for, well, I'm going to need another fusion reactor anyways, so we'll leave it open for that. Instead, I'm going to go outside and make a large power tower to add to our ever-growing area of just random things. And there we go. Isn't she beautiful? A big old tower of turbines. And there's going to be 2 of these in the future. Remember this, we can tower 16 with one of our fusion reactors. So, Yeah, our world is getting prettier by the day. And now I've got this bad boy hooked up to a little bit of ZPM wire and a couple of ZPM CEUs. Those transfer EU into RF so we can send it around our base. That's perfect. Also, I'm realizing I'm going to need to upgrade these wires soon, but I'll do that tomorrow. So the next problem is I don't have anything to use in these. Let's go ahead and go down to our fusion reactor and set up a little baby automation that will make me oxygen plasma for forever. Oxygen plasma requires two things, carbon and helium. Helium's the hard part, carbon is the easy part. It's right here. And I have the ender tank, which I can just go shove up against my fusion reactor input port, and it should just be in there. Okay, perfect. Now we have to work on helium. This right here is the slightly harder part. So what do we have going on here? This is a mess. Well, first of all, we're taking sand, turning it into sandstone. Then we're using the sandstone to turn into endstone with ender pearls and extraterrestrial matter in the way that it's done through deep mob learning. And then we demolish this endstone, and this endstone turns into a little bit of platinum, a little bit of tungsten, a little bit of sand. That's all going into this drawer. It's voided, but it's also got 1,500 stacks of everything. Then it creates a little tiny bit of helium each time it goes through, but like a decent amount of helium, not a terrible amount of helium. And then what I'm doing is, I should have grabbed, hold on, can I grab a bucket from you really quickly? I need that. And then what I'm doing is sending my helium here. Why are you... What I'm doing is sending my helium here, where it gets centrifuged by this molecular cyclone at IV, and it goes into this little tank right here, which I have a copy of right here, and we should just be able to send into this bad boy, and it all gets sucked out, and we begin producing a little bit of, that's europium, but in here, oxygen plasma. And then the oxygen plasma that's produced in here gets sent into this ender tank on light blue. It's also got a weird lighting glitch. I'm not entirely sure why that's happening. And we go up to our turbines and we set up a conduit system. There we go. And a grand total of 1 turbine is spinning up. Okay, well, at least it's making a lot of power. This guy is actually making a lot of power already, 12,000 EU per tick, and once it spins up fully, it should be making somewhere around 40,000 EU per tick. I think the main issue is this buffer is not filling up yet, and I'm not producing helium fast enough, so I'm going to have to make that system better. But if we can get this to run full time, we'll be in a pretty good place. I don't really think the current system's gonna check out. We are, there's also, is there a zombie down there? He kinda wants my life, doesn't he? Yep, there he is. I don't think the current system's gonna check out because we're not running all of our turbines. That's partially due to the fact that round robin doesn't particularly work well here, but also we're losing oxygen plasma, which means we're not running our guy at full time, and we're running this thing at full output, which is too much for it. It's also about to hit full, so it looks like it's going to be somewhere around 41,000 EU per tick. If we can get all of these running at one time, that would be 8 times 41,000. That would be 330,000 EU per tick. That's like 1.2 million RF. That's a couple RF. But yeah. I think the plan for next time is definitely going to be to go to the moon and make some helium-3. Also, I might as well, while I'm there, set up a couple of guys to make deuterium for us, because we're going to need a lot of deuterium soon to make these dilithium crystals, because we're going to need a lot of dilithium crystals. And, yeah, I think that's great. But I think that's all the time I have for today. This episode right here really showed me that our automations are not the greatest, and we have a lot of places where we need to pick up the slack because our buffers are running out and all those kinds of things. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like or something. Who knows? Have a fantastic day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.